Hi, it's Michael Venus. I'm at Centre Never Part with one of my favorite Montreal people, Frigid. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good. I'm better that you're here.
Yes, for sure. Same with me.
Oh, good. Now, you have some new music projects that I want you to tell us about.
Yes, well, I'm all into putting music into images these days. So I've released an album a year ago that I put aside for a little bit because I had my soap projects and so many things came up. It just happened like that. And I'm back into these songs. I'm reworking the mixes because I produced all my music. So I'm going through them again, kind of just twisting them a little bit and putting them into videos that are going to come out for the next few months. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, you're no stranger to creating music. Let's talk about some of your past stuff that you've done.
For sure. I've started producing music in the late 90s on my little keyboard alone in my room, like a good goth kid, you know, and that didn't sound really good. But then with the computers and everything coming in places, then I started production more in a serious manner, and I've been producing music since then and really working on that talent that I have. And actually it started way before that. I was mixing on my brother's tape radio, mixing and cutting songs, and I've been doing that since I'm 12 years old. So I've always been kind of playing with music and structure and sound, and I've been a musician too. So it's all coming together, and it comes in phases. And now I'm in the big phase of the music again.
You've been involved in Montreal's nightlife scene and as an artist for many years. I've followed your career throughout the years. Let's talk about your early days and your work with the House of Pride.
Amazing. Yes. Well, I was 17 then, and I was just coming out of ballet school, and I was a lot into the dance aspect of my art. And then I met those wild people, and it just, it happened really fast, and we were all trying to create something and awareness as well, and just being who you are and the power of just being yourself and all that stuff. And in the 90s were really about that too. It was really the gay pride then had a really, really, deep meaning to it.
Yeah.
People were really raising up, and a lot of just being yourself, the feminine, the masculine, we were all connected so strongly that way. And we created shows for clubs, for theaters. It was really, but then at the same time, we all had our own little thing we were exploring. So at one point, it just exploded.
I really feel, I always say, I'm quoted a lot saying Montreal's really experiencing a renaissance of sort. And, going back to the 90s, though, Montreal had so much magic, and you were such a part of that. So how have you sort of seen it change in a good way to now?
Wow, those are intense questions. Wow, how did it change to now? Well, there was a phase very blurry. I think now people are kind of reconnecting with all that again, but it's been a year or two.
Right.
And with the trans situation in the US right now too, I think for me that inspired a lot of my latest video.
Right.
It's just I was just you know what? I've been trying to make stuff that's very, very universal, so everybody can feel I wanted everybody to be able to relate to my art. And now I'm just you know what? There's some serious stuff to be dealt with, and I need also to be there.
Now, in the past and very recently, you worked with a very famous new wave artist. Tell us about that most recent work as well as the work you did before.
Well, Plastic Bertrand was coming to my DJ night in 2004, and he went on my website and he was like, I see you're producing music. And I was just starting to produce my album, Bedroom Sessions, and I was starting to feel confident as a producer. So I was putting stuff online a little bit, and he's like, I'd like you to write me a song for my show when I come to your night. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, Plastic Bertrand is coming to my night. So I thought, okay, let's just make it into a studio recording and make a video out of it and make a real single, not just a song for a night. And I was re-inspired, and then I thought Plastic Bertrand is very bubbly and new wave and amazing, but I have this more darker side to myself that I wanted to bring to his vibe and create something that's really him, but that's also very frigid. And I was writing that for him. It wasn't intended to be a duet or anything like that at that time. And I thought of okay, I should write a song that represents Plastic Bertrand cloned with Terminator. the movie from the
Yeah,
80s. So then Machine came because it's a machine, and that was just like how it came out. And then Plastic loved the song. He asked me to sing it with him. And then since then, we've been singing it together for the past 10, 15 years. So he came this summer in Montreal, and we practiced with Caffeine, with the full band. The energy is really great. It's really magical when we all get together.
Yeah.
This, because it's been the same band more or less for the past 10 years. And Alex Crow's working with Plastic Bertrand, co-produced my album. So it's all really correlated, and it's always a fun, easy exchange. Plastic is super cool. He has a song called Super Cool. I guess that's why.
You'd mentioned some of your club nights. You are also a DJ. Talk about some of the highlights. I mean, for me, it was always visiting you and bugging you to ask, play Susie at parking. Talk about parking and some of the other highlights as a DJ.
Well, Overdose was amazing. It just got everybody together from straight to gay to like all religions, all kinds of people, all ages. And it felt, and that's kind of all I want to do with my art as well, is bring people together and reach to everyone, and that was just the perfect night for that. And very rock and roll, but cheap drinks and just like amazing music. And the electro scene was just starting then.
Yeah.
And I was mixing with the indie rock, like the Strokes and all that stuff from New York. And it just felt very New York, actually. It felt very underground and fun, and people dressed up, and I dressed up. And it was a huge space. And usually for those more alternative, wild concepts in Montreal in the past, it's mostly been like smaller venues. So that felt just like, wow, people would come in, and it was amazing. And then I've been DJing and producing as well, remixing stuff, and also making even shows for drag queens, while they want their songs cut in pieces and put together in a way. And I love doing stuff like that, so I've been doing that for friends as well, and DJing a lot, and living in Berlin, and all that stuff was really my DJ is, I love playing and making people discover new sounds, and it inspires me in my own music as well. So it's just all, but it came I never thought I'd be a DJ.
You're so busy doing so many things. What else can we expect from you in the future?
It's hard for me to tell, because my inspiration fluctuates from stuff to another. I feel like the music is coming back in a very strong way. So I'm thinking next few years, a lot of music stuff for sure, my own songs and videos and stuff, I can see that. Live shows, I haven't done many live shows, and this summer live shows just booked themselves in my schedule. Right. And I was like, okay, that's a sign that I think I need to focus there, and I'm ready. I feel good about it, and it fills me up so much, and it's so creative as well, the costumes and everything. For me, every show has to be I cannot just tour the same show. I could never do that. Right. I would be bored. Every show, the set list has to change. The outfits have to change. I just have to it's like a slap in the face every time. It's like, bam, you're there, make it happen. And that's what I like about it.